Tioga River suffers from acid mine drainage contamination from years of strip mining for coal.
AMD is a huge problem in Pennsylvania. We have thousands of miles of streams that are polluted, that can't support aquatic life, that don't provide recreational opportunities.
It lowers property values. People can't use the water for recreation. The other areas of the county have the great benefit of being able to have that as a tourism base, and this area just doesn't have that draw. So when we can clean up the river, we will have an amazing advantage for the local community.
Over the 15 years that we've been working on Brook, we've had a lot of different companies out there looking at the river, trying to do something with the water. None of it worked out. None of it worked out until Southwestern Energy came into the picture.
As we're looking towards the future, we have challenges. There are challenges associated with doing it right. ECHO is Southwestern's pledge to become freshwater neutral in our operations by the end of 2016. We will achieve this objective using 4 different focus areas. First is protect the water resources that we have. The second is to reduce the water we use in our operations. The third is through innovation, and the fourth is through conservation. The Brook project is a great example of what community engagement and the ECHO project can do when we work those together. We could have come in and taken the acid mine water and just taken it and used it in our operations, and that would have temporarily fixed the problem for the community. But instead, by talking to the people and seeing how we could impact it on a permanent basis, we chose a different solution. One that will provide a permanent solution to this problem and clean up their river for them.
The project consists of 2 separate systems. Basically, you got collections of 099, which is a major discharge on one side of the road that will be collected and transported nearly a mile through pipeline into 3 separate drainable limestone beds. The water will then reside in those beds for a certain amount of time, and then it will be flushed out where all the iron, manganese, and aluminum will be collected into a slush pond, and then it will be eventually discharged over top of a concrete spillway into Brook. All the same time, on the other side of the road, you'll have the other discharges, 1, 2, and 3, which contain over 50% of the total iron load going into Brook. The same situation happens over there. The water is then piped into a drainable limestone bed, into a flush pond where all the precipitates are settled out, and then it flows into Brook downstream throughout the community.
The local community around here will have a great benefit when we get the river restored. They will be able to have trout back in the river. It's a huge tourism draw. Hopefully they can use it for public drinking water supplies and recreation. They'll also have the benefit of increased property values.
It's always a force multiplier to have partners, whether it's a local watershed group or corporations. It's particularly powerful, though, when companies are willing to step up and really demonstrate their commitment to environmental protection. Southwestern Energy has been a leader in practice and in really pioneering these kinds of projects. It's an example that I want to hold out as how we can change communities, how we can change the environment, and really make a difference for Pennsylvania.
All along, we've been just focusing on Brook because we figured if we couldn't do Brook, we can't do anything else. But now that we have Brook, now that we see that getting done, we realize now we can move on. There is hope that we can get the rest of it cleaned up.